How to stop drinking for life? Good question, isn't it? If you're a drinker, even a social drinker, and somebody says you've got to stop for life, that's emotionally a bombshell, isn't it? The best way to look at it is getting through the day without a drink, one day at a time. Okay, one day at a time. If you want to stop for life, that's the way to approach it. Don't think, oh my God, my life's going to change. Sober, I can't go out, I can't do anything. Because once you're sober, you realise that your days in the pub were pretty boring anyway. You felt terrible the next day. You had a lot of inane conversations with people you hardly knew. Probably bought people drinks you didn't know. Wasted your money on taxis, food you didn't eat. And your life became a mess. You'd have lost your ambition, your focus, maybe your partner, maybe your children, disown you, and you become a selfish, manipulative type of person because all you're thinking about is the drink. How you stop drinking? Well, I stopped because I was taken to hospital. I was told by doctors if you drink again you'll die within 6 months. It was still difficult. Even 5 years on, I still think, I wonder what it's like just to have a pint. Can I control it? I've tried so many times to do this and failed, and I won't have a drink now because I'm sober, confident. That's the difference. I'm a bit older, a bit wiser. I was never a stupid person, but the power of addiction is so strong. I would say alcohol, not that I've been a drug taker, because I haven't. What I've read, what I've researched, what I've heard people say, and witnessed it myself in some circumstances, is that alcohol is the most difficult drug to come off. Because of its addictive quality, and also because it's so readily available and so socially acceptable to drink, isn't it? I can't think of many occasions where alcohol isn't used. Births, deaths, marriages, Monday through to Sunday. There's always a drink available. I passed a garage the other day, fuel garage. A huge sign up saying 24-hour off licence in a petrol garage. What does that say about drink drive? Or just life in general? I had a friend who died 2 years ago. Alcohol issues, he was told to stop. He did stop for a while. He had a very supportive wife. So he cut down after he stopped. He stopped for about a year and then he sort of cut down his intake. So he basically relapsed, but not on such a big scale as he did in the past. But what he was doing was he was sneaking out at night, 4 o'clock in the morning, to a garage, getting some cans of beer, cans of cider, drinking them around the streets, and going back home. Then he hoped his wife wouldn't find out. That's the level he got. He died very soon after. Because it's not just your liver, you know, that gets hit by alcohol. The pancreas gets hit by alcohol. Your blood pressure goes sky high. People have strokes, heart attacks, accidents, seizures, and serious withdrawal, all this sort of thing. Alcohol is a massive, massive killer. And it's still heavily advertised. I was just talking to somebody yesterday in a meeting, not an AA meeting, just a meeting of people. The AA didn't do me any good. However, I know it does some people some good, so if it helps, then so be it. Anyway, with social media and this sort of thing, alcohol is more widely advertised than ever, and if you notice the tobacco isn't. Because a few years ago now, they stopped selling tobacco openly, didn't they? Cigarettes, as it were. Why can't that be done with alcohol? Alcohol is more readily available than it ever was. I think all day drinking was brought in about 1990, maybe late 80s actually. And then from then it's just ballooned, and certain companies have got pubs open from 8 AM. We can have a drink from 9. And those pubs are used as a bit of a watering hole, just for people in the winter to keep warm, I think. But all that starts a habit, a chain reaction, doesn't it? So if you want to stop, you've got to want to stop. For you, a lot of people will say, oh, you know, help my brother, he's told me to do this, told me to do that. It's only him who can stop, it's only you, it's only I can stop. You can't get anybody else to help you. The doctors can just prescribe something, but they don't know how you feel. So you've got to have this huge want, a huge focus. And unless you're alcohol dependent, like about 10% of people are, like I was, you'll need doctor's advice on that. If you're not alcohol dependent, then you can stop. And the biggest problem is staying sober, because people don't put in place any support for themselves, i.e. fill in the time. Because you think about how much time you spend drinking, planning to drink, drinking, and the most time is spent recovering, isn't it? You've got to have something to do to replace all that time. You need a new hobby, a new interest, new friends. You need to be going somewhere and doing something which is more healthy than sitting in the pub. I said in another video, when you reflect on what you actually did in the pub, you just sat, didn't you? And when you were unhealthy, and me, I was extremely unhealthy, I died. So you've got to fill that time in. You've got to have a reason to stop. Mine was because my daughter, my main reason, and myself obviously, who said, I thought 5 years ago you were going to die, you know. I thought I was going to lose my dad, and there'd be nobody there to see my first child, my first grandson actually. He was born in April, and nobody to walk it down the aisle. That upset me so much. That was my focus, a real focus to get well. It took me a long time to get well, because I was seriously ill. But everyone's got a reason to get well. It's a beautiful world, you know. And once you get sober, you'll see the world for what it is. Because most people start drinking probably late teens, early 20s, in the throes of drinking most days, if not heavily, at least socially. And there's a lot of problem drinkers in the UK and around the world who don't really think they've got a problem. I mean, I was in the dangerous drinking level, but even if you're just moderately drinking, you're still a bit more tired, you're a bit more lethargic, you haven't got the same get up and go, you haven't got the same energy levels. The younger you can stop, the better, because your life will be better. And you can't turn the clock back, as I said 1,000 times in the past, but you can wind it up again. If you want to wind it up again, start cutting down on the drink, start to taper off. If you can't stop, in 10 days you'll feel like a different person. You'll start to sleep better, your appetite will be better, productivity will be better, you look better, you'll feel generally more energized and not as detached from society. I used to feel very detached. If you're an anxious person, drinking will make you more anxious. Come off the drink, the anxiety will disappear. You feel younger again, you look younger, and people say, you've been on holiday, you're looking good. That's a nice jacket you're wearing. You've got more money. You can do more things. You can have more plans. You've got a future again. So you want to stop, focus, and think, well, if I don't stop, I might end up dying 20 years earlier than the general population. If you want any advice on this, please drop me a line in the comments box. And if you enjoy the channel, then please subscribe.